I guess we'll call the meeting to order. Is Annie here, or is it Kyla? Are you going to take it away?
I can take roll for you, Juan, if you're
Or
ready.
Violet, sorry, I didn't see you.
Oh, no
Go for
worries
it.
at all. Okay, we have over Teams myself, Violet Plummer, Andrew Chorney, Anna Conley, Brian West, Erica Grindy, Aaron Couts, Flanna Ewinger, Jason Emery, Commissioner Vero, Kaylee Becker, Kyla Leonard, Mel Fisher, Leidy Wagner, Martin Kidston, and MCAT. And in 206, it looks like we have Commissioner Slotnick, Ann Hughes, and Allison Franz. Did I miss anybody?
No, it looks great. And Josh looks very animated.
Perfect.
Oh.
I am. I know. I can't. Move my hands.
It's better than the opposite. Okay. Well, looks like is there any comment on items not on the agenda?
Yeah. Well, I just wondered if you were in your office.
Yeah.
Great, because I want at the end. I want to ask you some questions about conduit financing.
Well, I think to catch up with you.
Oh, thanks. Great. We can do that.
Hey, Andrew. Great to see you.
Juan, great to see you too. How are you?
Great. Well, we have kind of a lengthy consent agenda. There's 15 items. Is there any comment on any of those items? Or do we need to pull out any one of those items and discuss separately?
I read through them this morning.
Okay.
Anybody on the call?
Is that your motion?
Yeah, I would. Thanks. That's the motion. Let's pass this consent agenda.
Okay, and actually, you're right. I'm double checking it. Can you guys double check me? I don't think I see anyone asking. Martin is on. Okay. I second. Is there any further discussion on the? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You're good. Go for it.
And did you say? Oh, okay. Okay. Don't see any further discussion or comment on the consent agenda. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Okay, action items. Eric Dixon.
I don't think Eric is on. I don't see him anyway. And he asked me to jump in and address this one for him. So the first item essentially is a task order number 7 with HDR for the Lolo water and wastewater system. It's really the scope of the work is to do a fee analysis for connection fees as well as just the user fees or user rates for the Lolo sewer and water system. So some of the challenges we're having out there, we're starting to see some growth and a lot of requests coming in from different developers, and I think we're going to be bumping up against our capacity on both the water and sewer. And so looking at the potential for having to improve both of those systems, it's going to cost quite a bit of money. So we've got to reassess those different fees to make sure we have the funding to make the improvements to accommodate all the users that would like to be on the system as well as the current users. So.
Thanks, Shane.
Are you going to be exploring the funding mechanism out there as to whether you're going to do it by square footage versus house value?
I don't know if they will get into that. And that's a good question. I will tell you though, we are exploring other funding mechanisms.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we can talk later.
Okay.
All right, I would move we make this happen. Send HDR
Second. Is there any further comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thanks, Shane.
Kaylee Becker.
Good morning.
Hey.
So the item today is a collection agreement between Missoula County and Trout Unlimited. So this is part of the multi-year partnership effort to clean up from do mine reclamation projects in the 9 Mile to clean up from past impacts. This planning grant is basically the goal is to create construction ready documents and also documents that are used for permitting. So we were awarded a grant from DNRC last year, and we're the recipient. Trout Unlimited is basically the subrecipient. So the collection agreement is set up to formalize that kind of relationship between Missoula County and Trout Unlimited for this particular planning grant.
So Callie, this is the planning grant. So if this goes through, we do the planning, then we have to seek funding for actually doing the work.
Yes, correct. Yep. So this planning grant should be wrapped up. It's already, some of the work is already underway. Matching funds have been used. And then once it's complete later this summer, documents will be ready where we can apply for an implementation grant, probably in the next year or two. We'll be ready to do that just based on timing of application periods.
Yeah, I just wanted to get clear that this step is absolutely required, thoroughly necessary in order to get the money to do the implementation, that this is the next step, but not the final step.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
And what phase are we at?
Yeah, so we are currently in phase 6. So this, we get a little funny terminology. So this planning grant is for Reach 5, and we're currently working on phase 6. So Reach 5 will then be in the phase 7 of implementation. So that would happen in a couple of years.
Got it. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me. Okay.
So Callie, just what do you think in the ratio of how many years it took to wreck that area and how many years it takes to make it right? Is it even? What do you think? I should ask Trout Unlimited. I don't know. You may have that. I don't know.
I think the impacts were probably done over, I would say, a decade or more, because it was successive different projects, in the 1920s, and then reclamation and cleaning up have been going on since 2006, which is quite a while. So we're getting to be pretty on par. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for making sure this really important work happens.
Yes, absolutely.
It's just a stunning project. Yeah, incredible. Do you have a motion, Josh?
Yes, there's my motion. Let's make this happen.
Okay. Second, is there any further comment? Questions about this project? Okay, all in favor? Aye. With this planning grant? Aye. I didn't hear Josh, but I'm assuming.
Here we go.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kaylee. Okay, Brent O'Connor.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So,
Shane, sorry.
Yeah, Brent is also out, so I'm gonna fill in for him on this. Back to the Lolo Sewer and Water. Part of the services of our Lolo Sewer and Water system is also some parks, mowing and trimming and things like that, which has a tendency to take away from our staff time, and we're looking at probably 15 to 20 hours a week they're spending on park care in the summer months. So this is the first year we're going to try to hire out those services, and so we reached out to multiple lawn care service providers. Manscaping Lawn Care LLC was the lowest quote for $10,500. So they would provide basically that mowing and string trimming and some light garbage pickup at I think it's 7 or 8 different parks. There's 8 acres of mowing that would happen. So I think it's 7 parks, and then Highway 93 bike path, we have a little bit of mowing there. So that would happen, like May to September, I believe, were the dates on it. So
it's a hilarious name.
I know.
Is.
But yes, but a deal for half a year almost for 10,000. Yeah.
All right, I would move that we make this happen. Item number 3.
Second, any further comment? All in favor? Aye. Thanks so much, Shane. Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
Flanna Ewinger.
Hi. So I have the Fairgrounds short-term facility rental policy before you, and we request that you approve the policy. It establishes the rules and guidelines for all the short-term lease of the facilities and equipment here at the Fairgrounds. And short-term leases are 21 consecutive days or 30 calendar days. The Fairgrounds staff will be implementing this policy, and it outlines kind of the general rules and guidelines for use, facility booking information, fees, payments, and cancellation, event planning and facility requirements, taxes, licenses, and permits, health, safety, and environment, livestock and horse boarding, and parking and loading zones.
Any highlights in this policy, things that are new, different, innovative, parts of it that you're excited about, you want to share?
I think the highlights are probably just having a formal policy on how we are approving applications, just in case maybe we don't approve an application. You know, we're trying to stick to family-friendly events out here at the Fairgrounds. Another highlight is that we're really trying to push public events so that the whole community can come out here and enjoy the events. So we're really looking forward to having more of those sorts of events happening.
This policy is different than the policy that would cover, say, if somebody wanted to rent a space for an evening.
This is that policy. Yes.
Is that
if you want to rent the space for an evening, yes.
anything? So 21 days or less.
Yes, yes. So it wouldn't. It does not cover like the ice rink who, you know, rents annually and for years on end. Yes. So just if you want to rent for a day or up to, we're saying up to 21 consecutive days or 30 calendar days, so that we still kind of have our planning period that we need for the fair. We have had a lot of requests for like every weekly events, meetings to happen weekly, or different things of that nature, and we just can't meet those requests because of the fair. So we also want to be open to having being able to plan our own events throughout the year, or having other large events come in. And so smaller weekly events would kind of interfere with that. So yeah, it's but it's really going to help our renters to set their expectations for what services we provide and what they need to plan for. And I think it's going to eliminate some extra staff time with questions and kind of last minute requests. So we're excited to get started on implementing.
Fantastic. I'm so glad. Yeah, I think this will help clear things up, and it'll be clear for renters too. So that's, and you guys are booked. It's looking full, right?
Yeah, yes, we are very, yes. Yes, Monty and Taylor both made comments that suddenly April happened and we got really busy. So
yeah.
Yep. Too bad the weather hasn't kind of agreed to cooperate with us and be springy here.
Oh, it's this classic. It's springtime in the Rockies, right?
Right. Yes, I think we had a Easter egg hunt Sunday with snow.
All right, I would move that we approve the Missoula County Fairgrounds short-term facility rental policy.
Second, any further comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Thank you so much, Flana.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Kelly McGuire.
Hello, commissioners. I am here to talk to you about 4 subrecipient agreements for the Rural Domestic Violence Grant. And I brought that grant to you all back in maybe November. We were awarded in October. And so these are coming to you pretty late because we had a lot of trouble getting budget clearance. Our grant manager was on maternity leave with twins. So things took a really long time, but now we're bringing them to you. So these agreements are for 4 folks. The whole grant is $950,000 over 3 years, so it's a pretty big grant. One is for the Mineral County Attorney's Office, and this subaward is one that we've had for a really long time. It funds a crime victim advocate, and then this grant cycle, we're looking at providing incentive certification pay for Mineral County Sheriff's deputies to attend training on domestic and sexual violence. So that's still in development. They have a sheriff election this year, and that's probably going to slow it down. But looking at how we can try to extend training to other folks in Mineral County when there's a lot of turnover and maybe not always a lot of buy-in. The other 2 agreements are with Montana Legal Services Association and Reese Law Group. Montana Legal Services Association, we've had a subaward with in the past and have worked with them a long time with Diana Garrett. Reese Law Group is a new contract, but we have a lot of history with them on other projects as well. And so they'd be providing civil legal services for victims of violence. And that is a really important project. A lot of times victims don't have the ability to access an attorney, and the person who harmed them does get an attorney, and so then they lose out a lot in court. So this will help survivors of violence be able to do things like retain custody of their kids, retain their housing, have access to joint bank accounts with their ex. We see a lot of times where victims sort of get further abused by the person who hurt them in the court system. So this really goes a long way to prevent that, and we hear some really amazing stories through those services. And then the last subaward is with Angela Harris. She is an independent contractor and a private therapist. We've also worked with her for a really long time, for about 8 years. And she is going to provide a trauma-informed parenting support group for survivors of violence in the Sealy-Swan Valley. So I'd be happy to answer any questions about that grant or about those subawards.
Yeah, congratulations on the grant. And
Thanks.
is Angela, is this the first time she's been up there, or we've had this opportunity in Sealy? Or has it been there for a while?
No, that's a good question. So we worked with Angela through Sealy Lake Elementary School. So we've never contracted with her directly. She was always paid through the school. And she was there a long time, but now she has a private practice. So she has really strong relationships in the Sealy community and has been talking about this issue in that community for a long time.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to say congrats on the grant too. That's giant, nearly $1 million to do 3 years of really important work.
Yeah, thank you.
With that, I would move we approve and sign the subrecipient agreements.
Second, is there any further discussion or comment? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
Kyla Lenners.
Hi, Commissioners. This is for the Elections Advisory Committee, the student representative position. We had the current student representative not seek reappointment, Madison Morgan, so that left the student representative seat vacant. We had one new applicant, Clara Bentler, so the request would be to appoint Clara as the student representative, filling the remainder of the term, which is through January 31st, 2025, to the Elections Advisory Committee.
Great that Clara wanted to do this. I would move we make it so.
Oh, she was fantastic. I'm just so glad that the advisory committee did some outreach, because I was really impressed by her, and I think they'll be lucky to have her. So yes, I second that. Any further discussion on Clara Bentler? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Now it looks like we're on to correspondence. Is that Allison?
I don't have an agenda in front of me, literally.
Oh, sorry. It's the
Okay.
CSKT.
Oh, yeah.
Bison
yeah,
Range.
just-
Congratulations.
Yeah, so you just said it, basically just congratulating the tribes on the transfer of the National Bison Range back into their hands next month, I believe.
Big deal. Yeah, I'm glad you all could help us put that letter together and that we could sign it.
Bet.
Likewise. And then the second one is letter of support for, what is it? Blackfoot Communications.
Application for Connect Montana project funds.
Is Jason on? Or Emery?
I'm here. Morning.
Good morning. Anything you want to offer about this support letter?
Sure. Yep. So this is very similar to what you did 2 weeks ago with Charter Spectrum. So Blackfoot Communications reached out for a letter of support for some projects that they are going to be working on, hopefully with the Connect to Montana funds. I think the first one they're looking at is in the Potomac. I'm trying to expand services up there. And then they have some other projects that they didn't give me the information on down the road because there's several rounds of funding. So I think it's great. Of course, the goal with the Connect, well, this phase with the ARPA money and then the bipartisan infrastructure bill that was passed, which will be the second round of funding. The goal with that, of course, is that every American has broadband. We'll see if we get there, but this is certainly a good step in that direction. So.
Yeah, super exciting. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anything else on correspondence? Okay, discussion items.
DT and Reserve Street.
Okay, Brian
Morning,
West.
Commissioners.
Hey.
So this is on for a notice about MDT and Reserve Street. I'm actually here to give you formal notice about a lawsuit that MDT filed last week. I believe this is not coming as a shock, given that Josh, I think you were interviewed recently about the about the lawsuit itself. But in cause number DV 22393, the Montana Department of Transportation has filed a lawsuit. And they have gone ahead and named Missoula County as a defendant in the case, as well as John Doe's 1 through 100. In short summary, there are 5 counts within the lawsuit. 1 is for forcible detainer. 2 is for trespass. There is a claim for public and private nuisance. The 4th claim is for a request for an injunction, and the 5th claim is for a declaratory action, which kind of encapsulates all of those. Only the last claim really kind of implicates Missoula County. By and large, what MDT is trying to secure is a court order that they can have the sheriff's office assist them clear out the property under the Reserve Street Bridge. Probably the best summation I can give you is that this is more or less the same thing as an eviction lawsuit through the forcible detainer and the common law trespass claims. But there's also a request to the court to authorize MDT to remove any personal effects or anything that is left on that island as a means to try and reduce the amount of garbage, refuse, and litter that can be swept into the river as the runoff season comes. So at this point, the intent for our office is to defend the claim. We do have the capacity to do so. It'd be my intent after this meeting to acknowledge service on behalf of Missoula County and file any appropriate pleadings somewhere in the next week in response to the lawsuit. I hesitate to really give you a forecast of what the time frame will be in this litigation, given that MDT has it's got duties and obligations to serve notice on the individuals who are currently on their property. But that is the summary update as of today, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Brian. I mean, I guess I don't necessarily have a question, more of a comment. I mean, this is, in my mind, not the traditional lawsuit, one against the other sort of thing. I mean, how I see it, this is like a process to achieve ultimately a shared goal by all entities, right? Even
I
though
think-
that we're defending it, it's the language, I get kind of hung up on the language.
If you look at the allegations that MDT is bringing in this lawsuit, Juanita, by and large, they are directed at the individuals camping. Practically speaking, the county is being brought in as a necessary party because at the end of the day, MDT is trying to get a court order that they are asking the sheriff's office to serve.
It was my understanding that this really gives the sheriff's office some legal protection for when they do take those actions, that they're doing so kind of with the blessing of the court.
As indicated in the suit, Sheriff McDermott has been in communication with the MDT and has requested that they secure a court order so that he can assist with their clearing.
So this feels, I'm kind of echoing Juan here, it feels processy rather than traditional. We're suing you so you do this thing that we want you to do that you don't otherwise want to do. We want to make sure there's real compassionate enforcement, and this gives us the protection we need. I'm saying we as part of the sheriff's department to actually do that work. Martin,
That
do you
was
have
there
any-
anything, was there anything further I can answer for the commission?
Martin, do you
No,
have any
thank-
questions?
I really don't. I just know over the last couple of years, as you guys look to fund some of these other camps over in that area, you were clear in stating that you couldn't take this action without first offering alternative places to reside. Is that still correct? Am I phrasing that correctly?
That's my understanding. Do we have that right, Brian?
Yeah, that's been a component, given some of the decisions that have been handed down by the Ninth Circuit that have by and large prevented law enforcement agencies and communities from criminalizing individuals who are camping on public property. The provision of alternative camping sites, I think, is a key component in what MDT is trying to do with their property.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Brian, for working through this.
Thanks.
Not a problem. I'll update when there's a further update to be given. I'm not sure when that will be.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. And thanks, Martin. Any other upcoming events or invitations? Okay, not hearing any. I can kind of see the clock and it looks like it's close to 10:30, so nice job, everyone.
Well done. Love that consent agenda.
Yes, I don't know why it took us so long to figure that out. But we did it, so thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.